Cause you niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins,
That's me.
and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Media popcorn.
Woo!
You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
I'm in love with a church girl.
She's churchy, she's churchy, she's churchy.
And she always gives me a Bible.
I'm in love with a church. What? She always gives me a Bible?
Yeah, I mean, they give a lot of Bibles out in this movie. Hey, everyone, this is Brandon Collins.
Guys, and it's Justin Brown.
And we are here blessing the Lord with another review. This one is with I'm in love with a church girl, which actually I saw a cutout of this shit at like AMC on 42nd Street when this first came out, like back in 2013.
Oh, it should have been burned right then.
I just remember seeing like Ja Rule and Adrian Bylon. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, like, why is Ja Rule starring in the movie? This was like right after he got out of jail too.
Oh God, he's
for like tax evasion or whatever the fuck he went to jail for.
Well, I mean, he should have got himself right back into jail after the Fyre Festival.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like know what we know now about Ja Rule. Like, not only is he terrible at like being a long-term rapper, he's also terrible at producing events, and then he's also a terrible actor.
Yeah,
because his character Miles Montego, first of all, is terribly written, but he plays it so weird. Like, all the performances are batshit crazy in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like his whole crew, that fucking Scooby-Doo Goonies crew that he had. Yeah. We're led to believe Miles is out of the game.
Yeah.
But his friends clearly kick back money to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is he laundering that through his events, like a la Power?
Well,
I was like confused because they were like, "Oh, he actually isn't connected to all this stuff." I'm like, he clearly is. Like,
yeah.
How is he still making money? He still has a rich lifestyle.
Well, yeah. So he's putting money into. Because we started off with them giving him money.
Yes, that's why I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
And if he's not in the game, you're really doing a good job of making it seem like you're in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he hangs out with the crew all the time. It looks like he just gets to get like residuals from shit, even though he's not on the street anymore. But at the same time, his crew, wouldn't they be mad resentful that this dude is just living up his life, getting a cute church going girl and stuff while they're still out here hustling and shit?
Yeah.
They all get busted at the end. I was like, yeah, they should all turn on him.
Well, yes, if he's still in the game. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's so much to talk about.
There's like some weird crime thriller in this with like Stephen Baldwin and Michael Madsen trying to take him down. But then halfway through the movie, Stephen Baldwin was like reporting to fucking crazy ass dude from Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah,
with the weirdest mustache I've ever seen in a white man.
Dude, John Kreese was fucking crazy in this movie. He was fucking out of control. I was just like, wait a second, is that Val Kilmer? I said, oh no, that's a different pasty, weird looking white dude.
Yeah,
he looked like he was melting. He looked like a fucking vampire.
Yeah, he looked crazy. And then Stephen Baldwin's like, I don't know, man. There might not be anything on him. It's like, you've been, what? You started this whole case around this dude.
Can we start off with the fact is that if you're watching the credits, I don't know if you saw
that was some Game of Thrones shit. That was weird.
Well, the opening credit made it seem like we were about to watch National Treasure.
Yeah, there was big signals in this movie.
But I don't know if you saw during the credits that we had a very special person, which was helping in the making of this movie.
Who was that?
God.
What?
Executive producer, God. I stopped and I laughed out loud. I'm just like, listen, now, guys, I'm not dumping on anybody who's very into their faith, but at the same time, it's like you're giving executive producer credit to God. Like, come on, homie. You need to chill out a little bit. What are we doing right now? It's kind of crazy.
This whole movie was insane. I mean, first of all, Vanessa would never get with Miles because, one, Miles has no personality. 2, she finds out he's a drug dealer or was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
3 is Adrian Bailon. And this is like 2013 Adrian Bailon. Bad as fuck.
Even though she had a very, very bad dye job in this movie.
What do you mean? Oh, her hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I mean, she looked beautiful though.
No, she's a good looking woman, but
Also, Ja Rule looks ridiculously much more older than her. I think she was 27 when they filmed this, and he was 38. You know what I mean? Like they definitely look different.
have you done, my baby?
They should have gotten Ashanti for this.
No, that would
Closer in age, and that would have just automatically resulted in people going. But because of the religious overtones, I'm sure that she was like, "I'm good," because this isn't even Tyler Perry religious. This is like you're gonna be baptized through the art of cinema. By the end of this shit,
dude, this was like Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door on a Sunday afternoon, kind of serious. They were going all in on this. I was like, guys, I get it. You're churchy.
I used to get Jehovah's Witnesses coming to our house every Sunday.
Yeah,
and it was always when my mom wasn't there.
Was it Saturdays?
I think it might have been. It might have been Saturday because my mom worked on Saturdays and she wasn't home.
I'm not 100% sure because, what day is their day of worship. But because it used to happen when I was a kid all the time. Here in the city, only the Jehovah's Witness or people preaching is in the subways. So
yeah. Yeah, but they used to always come to the house, and I remember one time this woman was like, she started reading from the Bible in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, I was eating cereal and watching cartoons.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I haven't got time for this.
Yeah, I mean, did you go to church a lot growing up?
I mean, I went to Catholic school. I didn't go on Sundays. I went on Tuesdays because that's when we all had to go to church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take me to church, something, something, something. I don't know the song.
Okay,
so Ja Rule has a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
no.
There was that random kid at the beginning. And I'm like, so does Ja Rule have a son? Remember when he was in jail? And he's like, I turned my life around.
No.
But I know that was a fake out that it looked like he was in jail because of the voiceover and show in prison. And it just ended up showing his crew that he sent Bibles and letters to.
Yeah. So when y'all get out, why am I talking like DMX?
I don't know, but he sounded plumb crazy in that voiceover.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Like, Ja Rule.
It's murder.
It's like Ja Rule phoned it in because he knew Fyre Festival was coming down the pipeline. He's like, man, I got something that's going to change the game. All right, I want to play this scene where he's starting to date Vanessa, who he meets at some random friend's house or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they're out at a club. And his crew is there. And I was like, well, first of all, you look at all these niggas. They clearly look like drug dealers. But then they start talking about, Miles and how he used to get down the streets. And then...
Just go the whole thing, Brandon.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
Just let it go.
Hey, how are you?
Ladies, I want y'all to meet my baby, Vanessa. Vanessa, this is Nicole, Jasmine, that's Simone, and this is Shanice.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hey, yo, what's good, Chico? Let's have some shots, man.
Oh, not tonight, Marty, man. I'm driving.
Not tonight, man. It's my birthday, homie. I mean, that's why we all here celebrating.
Everyone in his crew are terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible actors.
Everybody in this movie are terrible. They're terrible actors.
Adrian did pretty good. I would say she's probably the best thing in this movie.
That's debatable.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, just one shot, man.
All right, maybe later.
Man, I remember that one time. He was hanging out the window with guns blazing like a madman, like, brah, 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 blah, blah. Hey, Vanessa, you don't even know, ma. Miles Montego, sitting with a real legend, ma.
I seen my man.
Let's go get that shot on me.
Yeah.
We ain't done yet, y'all.
So, Vanessa, is everything they say about Miles true?
About what?
You know.
You know.
I'm not trying to keep you girls in suspense, but I wouldn't know.
You mean you two haven't slept together yet?
Look, we're just trying to, take it slow, that's all.
Nice and slow. Are we talking about the same Miles here?
So what, y'all trying to make me look like a psycho or something? she ain't trying to hear all that, man. She look like she's impressed? Do me a favor, tone it down. Tone it down, man.
By the way,
First of all,
no
he looked like he was about to murder everybody.
murder, but no one around him is drinking a shot. He's just drinking like a big ass double shot drink. And everything about the acting, like that's a perfect illustration of the dog shit that's in this movie. Yeah, because everyone is like, "Hey, girl," it looks like a student film.
Well, first of all, it's just like, you got some shitty ass boys if that's what they do to you. They first meet these girls. It's like, yo, let me tell you about all this fucked up shit he used to do.
And then the girls ain't shit too because they're like, does he have a big dick? Oh man, he used to fuck everything. It's like,
I'm just like, God damn.
With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Jesus Christ. Yo, but also, now, I mean, I know women. But do women talk to their talk to just random girls like that? I know everybody talks to people like that, once they get to know them.
I mean, the only reason why they would is because, they're jealous and they're trying to hook up with that dude themselves.
True. But like, dude.
Why else tell her that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, oh, that nigga's a hoe. Ha ha. It's like, also like, why are you asking?
Yeah.
You're his boy's girl. What are you doing?
It's that was crazy. There is so many things that drove me nuts about this movie. I was also high as hell when I watched this, and I was laughing hysterically at some parts because the actress that plays Vanessa's mom, what's her name? I'm gonna have to go on IMDb. Atrocious. One of the worst performances I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, she was bad. She's actually one of the first people I wrote down. It's like, oh, the mother is absolutely terrible, really bad.
Yeah, everything was insane about this movie, and then the scenes with Ja Rule's mom were like the black version of The Room. Between the mom scenes, it had that kind of vibe, and I was just like, this movie's out of control, man.
This movie is something special. This movie is something special. When I say special, I'm talking about taking a short bus to school. This is fucking crazy.
And it's almost 2 hours too.
Yeah, that was not fun. It was not fun to have to sit through all of this. I'm just like, yo, what is happening in this movie?
Yeah. It was like,
I can't wait till we start talking about the ending of
when
this
he gets pulled over. He's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's like, nigga, you were going 90 in like a 45 mile per hour lane.
Because he's chasing this girl down. It's like, first of all, way too aggressive. I don't know whose number you're trying to get, chasing them down on the streets. It's like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. If a dude chases you down, literally chases you down in his car and just making crazy maneuvers just to try to get your number, are you going to give it to him? Mm-hmm. That's the question. That's really the question. Yeah. Please call in 347-508-0978. Tell us what you think. Are you giving that dude your number? Because I want to know. Because maybe I did shit all wrong.
I mean, this movie, like the writing or maybe the improvisation or whatever, didn't make any sense because when they're meeting at that party, she like makes a joke about calling 911. I'm like, this isn't a meet cute.
Yeah.
She's threatening you with legal actions. Like,
he's just like, oh, can you let go of my hand? Yeah, because he says hello to everybody, and then she's the only one who shakes his hand.
Can't do that no more in a post-COVID world.
Mm-hmm. He'll be meeting people and just grabbing all up on them. You got to go put that hand sanitizer on. It ain't sexy.
Yes, you're right, Justin.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was very confused by Miles' whole story because they're trying to say like, being with Vanessa makes him a changed man, but then he does things where he's still like involved with his boys and like pointing guns at people and like there's a scene where he has 2 guns.
Yeah, he picks up the guy's gun off the ground. He's like, now get out of here. I was like, okay, nigga.
I was convinced that Miles was gonna get killed during this movie.
I was convinced that he had to do some fuck shit. Like the way this was going, like some shit had to happen, or we had to see that he was actually still in it to some degree. But I'm a changed man completely. Oh, yep. First of all, they told each other that they loved each other, and they've only went out twice.
Mm-hmm. But
He's
it's
not
because
falling in love
it's
with you,
because
but-
he called her so early in the morning that she's able. You know, they didn't have much time between their meet cute and actually like being able to feel like they know each other. Because remember on the phone he says, "My Sundays start when the sun comes up." Nigga, that's when everyone's day starts. What are you talking about? And then she's video conferencing him in bed, looking all cute, and she's showing her delicious melons and stuff. And it's just like, well, now you're just teasing me, girl.
Well, I mean, listen.
Like, I know you're a church-going girl. I actually thought that this whole feeling, the way that Ja Rule played it, made it seem like he was conning her so he could get the draws.
Well, yeah.
Like, so
yeah.
walk to remember type of shit.
Yeah.
Before Landon actually falls in love with Mandy Moore's character. And then, you know, she dies at the end. Spoiler alert. It's a sad movie. I read the book, too.
You just brought up a Mandy Moore movie. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's
I don't
also
know where
got
to go.
religious, you know, themes and shit.
Anyhow.
Yeah,
boy.
I mean, also Ja Rule saying, ain't no question. Like, nigga, I got a lot of questions.
Well, okay. So, again, church goes like, you know, wow. So they talk early in the morning. She goes to church. After church, she comes to his house for the first date.
Yep.
That's very contradictory of a church girl lifestyle, that she's going to go to his house because she knows the demons, the serpent that lies underneath that's in that man's house. Like, and I get it from his point of view. It's just like, yo, I got this crazy ass fucking multi-million-dollar house. Invite her over. She see how I'm living. Then she want to be a part of the gang. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like you also got to be smart enough not to go to a man, well, that you just met, to his house the day after you met him.
When Adrian plays that scene weird because the way she's looking at the house is like she's scoping out her future.
Yes.
She's like, you live here all by yourself? It's like, that could be my room. That could be my room. He's got, what, 4 bedrooms?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, most of the time I just go fall asleep on the couch.
And I'm like, that's so crazy. Like, I'm like, what? I wrote down, this is as bad as a Lifetime movie.
Oh no, this is a Lifetime movie but black.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so not good.
Yeah, and
This is so not good.
and she's so New York too. Adrienne Bailon, like her voice, the way she talks, I'm like, I know you go to church, but you sound a little streetwise, more than what your character's like playing, supposed to play yet.
So there's a lot of things that lines in this movie that just made me confused. And one of them was, so his friend comes up to him. He's just like, oh, he's supposed to be getting money. Some guy who owes him money or whatever, right? And then Ja Rule says to him, so he goes, hey, wait, dude says he owes him money. And then he says back, I don't want to know about nothing, about the when, about what does. You know what I mean? About the what, the when, or the why. I don't want to know about nothing about the what, the when, or the why. I'm just like, what? What nigga babble are you speaking right now?
I did write down his monologues are really bad. Like, he just says insanity. And then I want to play this scene where there's like this church rapper, right?
Yeah.
And he pulls up in like a Bentley or some shit.
He pulls up in a Lamborghini.
In the Lamborghini.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Ja Rule's all impressed and stuff. And so was Vanessa. I think they give her gold digger vibes.
Yeah,
The way she looks at that car too, she's like, I'm like, yo, what's the long game with her going on here?
And if this nigga's pulling up in a goddamn Lambo, he's definitely stealing money from the church.
That's what Tati said. She's like, oh, so this is supposed to be like a mega church, even though it's not that big.
Yeah.
I was like, and clearly this dude has a Lambo. But then he talks to Ja Rule about how this all works out.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
You heard me? See you a little bit. Man, what's
First of all, this nigga's wearing all white.
I'm wonderful. How are you?
A white
Fantastic.
fitted cap
It was
and
an
everything.
awesome worship
It's
night.
crazy.
I had a great time too. The spirit was really moving,
Oh,
right?
it was in me. It was everywhere.
I'll see you on Thursday at rehearsal. Don't be late.
Yes, I'll see you there.
All right, man. See you.
Hey, Pastor Galley.
Yes, how are you, man?
Mwah. Pastor Galley, this is my boyfriend Miles. Miles, Pastor Galley.
Miles, you got some churching today, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting, but it was good.
That's right. That's right.
So you really like a pastor, huh? I mean, like a real pastor.
As opposed to like an imaginary cartoon pastor.
What?
I don't know.
There's an imaginary cartoon pastor?
Well,
Did I miss something?
I get where he was going with it, but the crazy's coming. Just keep the part of it going.
Nah, that's not what I meant, man. I mean, you don't really look like a pastor.
I don't, huh? So what's a real pastor supposed to look like, Miles?
I don't know, man. I mean, look at you, man. Clothes, your jewelry.
Kind of tight to death yourself there, Miles.
Yeah, but I don't drive no Lambo, Pastor.
Lambo, huh? I recall pulling into the parking lot and passing a four-door black Bentley that I've never seen here before, and I'm assuming that's yours, man.
Yeah, but I ain't no pastor.
True that. But the last time I read the Bible, it said nothing about style being a sin. Kind of goes back to that old saying that you cannot judge a book by its cover, you heard?
First of all,
I hate the music in this movie, by the way.
yes, but also in the Bible, it talks about like not being betrothed to like earthly possessions and things like that. And as a man of the cloth, he should be humble, with things.
Yep.
And he should be giving his money back to the church. So like him driving around in a Lambo is actually
And
contradictory.
looking all fitted and shit like that.
Yeah, dressed
Looking like he's going to Diddy's white party.
Yeah, looking like fucking R. Kelly in the half on the baby video. Like that's not very church. This nigga question you about what you're doing right now is very valid, my nigga. Like, what are you doing now? You're wearing a white button down, some white Dickies, a white hat, and
Look
some
like he's supposed to be in
Uptowns,
Miami.
Yeah.
And a Shake Your Tail Feather video.
Yeah, like what's happening here? Yeah. When's fucking Mr. 315? When's that nigga gonna show up? Yeah, Pitbull. Pitbull's got us somewhere around here. Where's the Dollies?
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking
Also,
Cuban links ass. Nigga.
we find out about halfway through the movie that Vanessa works at a faith-based like retail store that is apparently packed to the gills. I'm like, in what world? In what world is there a faith-based retail store that has Jesus clothes and books and shit, looking like a fucking Harry Potter store with the robes and shit, but for Jesus stuff? And she's just like, it's really busy. I'm like, how?
Well, first of all, I will say, this is in like Northern Northern California.
Yes.
So there's like San Jose, I think, some shit like that. In that area, God, and like it's a thing. Because I remember I was driving up there. I was driving up to San Francisco, and I saw somebody had used their lawnmower and then put a fucking a cross onto the side of this big fucking hill or some shit like that. I was just like, oh, we in Jesus country right now. So like I guess it is a very kind of like in the middle of nowhere kind of faithful type people. But to your point, in no place in America are you gonna walk into a fucking store that's all about God and it's gonna be packed like that?
Yes.
Unless that store is actually attached to like one of those huge Joel fucking whatever churches and shit like that.
Or it's a front.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like you get a T-shirt and then you get like a package of some good ooey ooey or something like that. Yeah, it was out of control. But
also, how old is she?
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that too. I will say she probably is supposed to be in her early 20s. But I think they're trying to posit that Ja Rule's in his early 30s. And neither one of those works well.
So that being said, so she lives at the house with her mom, her dad, and her two sisters.
Yes.
Now, when her
Who
mother
immediately look like they want to fuck Miles.
Yes, 100%.
Which I was like, Miles is probably fucking them. Like, if we played Miles the way that he's
three
presented,
sisters.
Yeah, she's got a lot.
2 or 3. Either way, no, maybe it's 3 of them. But
one of the sisters was really cute too. I was like,
the first one.
She's kind of giving Adrian a run for the money over there.
So when she shows up, the mom is just like, wait, you're the one who's going up my daughter? And then she starts that question. I'm just like, is she saying that because the way he looks as, it's like, oh, this guy looks kind of hood? Or is she saying that because, wait, who this nigga in my house?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both. I mean, his last name is Montego, so I was like, is he supposed to be Dominican?
Yeah.
I was like, What's going on with this name?
But I mean, at the same time, I mean,
But it's written by a Spanish person, Galia Molina, and apparently it's written. It was written while he was in prison.
Yeah. I saw that. I had to look up this motherfucking movie. It was like who, what, when, where, why.
And apparently Stephen Baldwin got booked in this because of his strong Christian background.
And so did
Adrian Bylon.
Yeah. So he was just like, these are the two I need.
All right, we gotta play this scene with Michael Madsen, who's only in this scene, right?
No, he's in this scene, and then he shows up at either towards the end, where he's on the bullhorn.
That's right. Because I was like, what's going on? And this is where John Kreese from fucking Cobra Kai gives them their assignment, and it's. I mean, I was just like, I wrote down like, this movie is also a crime thriller? ?
Yo, this nigga John, I'm just gonna call him John Kreese because that's his name now. This motherfucker, he should only be in the gi. Anything other than that, not believing him. Go on.
You know what's funny is on the Wikipedia page, that actor from Cobra Kai doesn't even get listing, but Vincent Pastor, who played Big Pussy, who's literally in the movie for maybe 30 seconds, he's got a listing. It's so strange.
Have a seat, gentlemen.
You know what these are? These are time and expense sheets for the Montego case. And you guys spent way more time and money than I ever authorized.
Sir, we believe very strongly that this crew is one of the biggest operating in this region, with ties to several other states.
This guy lives in a house that's worth more than all of our houses put together.
One of his dozen cars is worth more than all of our cars combined.
He wears what we make in a year on his wrist.
So, we're working on this one around the clock, Chief.
Well, you ought to stop right there, because that's your problem. You're working around the clock. Now, around the clock costs this office a lot of money.
So what now? We're gonna put a price tag on justice?
This conversation is over.
That's the most insane scene ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just like, half the scene is like, I'm jealous.
It's like, this nigga got more than me. We gotta take him down. Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, this sounds like the fucking, the plot to Rosewood.
It does. I mean, everyone, just think about, we're going between scenes like this shit with Stephen Baldwin and then Ja Rule trying to be a romantic drama lead.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing with his mom getting sick. Yeah. Again, Room-esque.
Yeah.
Right? And then when she has that scene with that Adrian, she's like, you make him a good man. Promise me you'll take care of him. Like, that's a lot to put on somebody that's not even married to your son.
Yeah. And also who just saw your son fucking cuddled up with some other chick.
Yeah, they never resolved that.
No, not really. Well, yes, they did, but it's like she never really confronted him about it.
She just saw him and then ran away when he was talking to that stripper. She wasn't a stripper. She was just a girl at the club that was trying to fuck and get some money.
She was a woman of the night, but not of the woman of the night, if you know what I'm saying. She likes to hang out at night. She likes to party all the time, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Why was he always at this club if he wasn't trying to do bad?
Because he well, I'll tell you why, because he was sexually frustrated.
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, they never talked about that. There's some movies where, like, you know, if the female partner is celibate or something like that, they, like, talk about how the man struggles with that.
Yeah.
We never got an idea of anything about Miles and the struggles, what, like, irked him, except for when his boys are getting in trouble with their gang shit.
Yeah.
That he supposedly isn't involved with.
But he is obviously.
He's so involved in it. That's why at the end when they're like, oh, like, we can't tie anything to him. I'm like, he's literally been in every scene we've seen with his boys doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, like, if you guys have been tailing this guy, you would have saw the two guns he was pointing at somebody.
Yes, that's right. If they were surveilling him the way they claimed they were, yeah, definitely.
Like, what are you guys doing?
I also love how there's like 4 settings. It's like house, hospital, club, other house.
Yeah.
And church occasionally.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
I mean, I want to say Adrian Bylon in this red dress, she looked amazing.
Hold on. Play it real quick, 'cause I need to see what she looked like. I think this is the one where she's like standing there and she's just like smiling.
She's just posing. Looking at him like, look at her. She knows she bad.
Yeah.
And Ja Rule over here looking like a Muslim.
Bean pie, my lady.
Okay. I'm loving it. Look at you.
Thank you, baby.
So you ready for your big birthday?
They started calling each other baby like immediately.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've dated girls like that though. They're like they jump in real fast. I'm just like, yo, you shouldn't be doing this because I'm about to fuck you and never call you. No, because like when somebody's like really clingy like that, actually to tell you the truth, you're not gonna fuck them because you want to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. It's weird when somebody's like on you like that and just like won't. Yeah. Well, first of all, she's also extremely jealous.
Yes. Yep.
That girl sees him as like, oh, I've been calling you, whatever. It's obvious he hasn't seen this girl in a while because she basically confirms that, and he's like, oh, the kids and yada yada yada, and I'm just like, wait, what? And then she slams all the bags in the car. Did you sleep with that girl? He's just like, yeah. I shouldn't even ask. Like, you
remember
shouldn't have asked.
he does say he was like, we was into anything and everything. I'm like, ew. He's just a swinger over here, just fucking everything.
And then and then that girl's calling him later. And then he's just like, he looks at the phone. He's just like, no, I gotta read this Bible, baby. And then that's when he goes to the club.
When he got the Bible, the personalized Bible.
Oh, hold on. And then he starts reading the Bible like it's a fucking passion novel. It's like, oh, baby, look, let's see what this. And then he grabs her.
Dude, I couldn't stop laughing because I'm just like, this is so insane.
Yeah, dude, like this movie's just fucking cuckoo, fucking bananas. It's stupid.
It was so crazy. And also, why was Ja Rule's money always really clean? Like fresh off the printer.
Because it's Monopoly money.
Like that shit was when he had the safe and all that clean money. I'm like, this is impossible. And we opened with him stacking at least, I would say, $10,000 in that.
No, he said 75 from each of those guys. So
this shit is not legal.
$75,000 or $7,500.
No matter what,
like,
and this is something I learned from shows like Power and stuff like that, and just like learning more about the entertainment industry. You couldn't take the money from the events that he was supposedly putting together and just walk out with all that cash and just put it in your personal safe. That shit has to go to through legal channels.
Well, Brandon, obviously you don't know anything that you're talking about because Ja Rule, he was putting together the Fyre Festival, so he would know. He would know more than all of us.
This is true. Ja Rule is more experienced at putting on events than I am. He's not, by the way. I've been putting together events since I was 17.
Oh, okay. Flexing on these niggas.
I'm just saying, I mean, Ja Rule's made a lot of bad decisions.
In his life or?
In his career. He's definitely made some bad decisions. I mean, I think the first one, especially when it comes to acting, was he turned down Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah.
Because he technically should have been Ludacris's role.
Mm-hmm. He fucked up.
He fucked that up.
Wait, it's because, the first one, oh no. So the first one
he tried to stab 50 Cent. You know what I mean? He did not make good decisions.
Wait, hold on. The first Fast and Furious, that had Ludacris in it?
No. Ludacris and Tyrese come in the second one. Ja Rule is one of the street racers in the first one.
In the first one, that's right.
And then they were going to bring him back. And John Singleton said, he was like, nah, I'm good. So he was like, all right, I'm going to call Ludacris.
Yeah, and then when they did Tokyo Drift, that one had Bow Wow in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm surprised.
Who's back?
Oh, God.
You didn't see him in the Fast 9 trailer? They showed all those Tokyo Drift niggas.
Oh,
God. I can't tell you how excited I am. It's going to be the first movie I see in the theater.
Yeah, I think so. It's safe for me.
I can't explain to you how excited I am. Because Vin Diesel's been doing interviews recently, and this nigga said something along the lines of, this is going to make the first movie make sense. I was like, what? This is number 9. So you're going to have things in here from the 2001 movie.
That's crazy.
It's so insane, dude. But I can't wait. You know that we talked about this in the 10th one. It's going to be the fucking Avengers. They're going to bring everyone into that shit. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be out there. Well, I mean, then Vin Diesel talk about he wants to make 13 of these shits. I'm just like, no.
I think there's 2 more left.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, man. I mean, he can't be stopped, but he should be.
Yeah, I mean, well, he needs to retire.
Yeah,
Toretto.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that Ja Rule stopped acting. It seems like after this.
Yeah, because he's fucking horrendous.
I mean, when he has that whole outburst in the church, where it made it seem like he was gonna go either fuck somebody or he was gonna go like drinking or something. When he's like, I gotta go talk to somebody, and then he just goes to the hospital church.
Nigga, he went in there and he starts yelling at the stained glass. Yo, that shit was fucking hilarious. We got to play that scene. You got to find that one. I didn't think we were going to talk about this soon, but like, yo, that was out of fucking control. Now, I'm actually sitting here looking at Ja Rule's filmography. He did some after this.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Because we got some serious issues to talk about.
He's talked to a stained glass of Jesus. Guys.
First of all, you took my mother from me. And that just about killed me. But I kept my mouth shut. Don't let that one slide.
You let your mama die and slide?
Bad things to people for a lot less. But I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I've been faithful. I've been going to church, reading your precious little book. I even drop stacks of hundreds every Sunday in that little velvet bag they pass around. I've changed.
He's like pouting.
I'm a changed man. Can't you see that? Oh, my bad. Of course you can. You see everything, right? So what's the problem then? What do you want from me? I know I haven't made you proud. How could I with all this mess I got going on? What happened? What happened to all the things I've been reading about? Grace, forgiveness, mercy. Where was the mercy from my mother?
And I know the director is like, Ja, this is the scene that people are gonna be like, oh my God, Ja Rule, he's got the gift.
He deserves Oscar.
There was definitely an African grip that was like whispering that during this scene.
Dude, that is one of my favorite lines from fucking Tropic Thunder. You deserve Oscar. You don't.
Yo, when Ja Rule told Adrian Bailon, he was like, I'm someone who's having their life turned around by God. I was just like, Jesus Christ. Literally. Like, why? Also, okay. Going back to his crew real quick, why those niggas look at money like they just discovered, a foreign language? They look so befuddled by these stacks of money that they're supposedly raking in all the time. Mm-hmm. I was like, who are these actors? Like, never do this again.
Well, one of the actors is, hold on, I found this nigga's name. Toby Mac. Toby Mac is one of that rappers. Mm-hmm. He's one of them Christian hip-hop artists.
I'm sure he is.
Oh, boy.
Also, this made it seem like religious people can't cook because that salmon that he was eating looked mad bland.
Oh, you mean the one that that he was cooking while they were arguing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mad bland. I was like, you don't got no adobo. You ain't
I
got
knew
no lime,
I knew adobo
nothing.
was coming out of your mouth, nigga. I knew you were about it. You ain't got no adobo.
But when she has that tantrum, though, like I wrote down, is she okay? This rant is crazy. And Tati was like, is she like bipolar? Like, what's going on with these flips? Because she would out of nowhere kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
Which I guess is like in every relationship, like the same person has their moments and stuff. But there was enough signs where it was like between the way that she's looking at this house, the way that she kind of gives off gold digger vibes, and then she's like insanely jealous. It was like, this ain't a recipe for good.
No.
This ain't going to be good long term.
I also want to talk about when his mom was dying and when his mom was talking to what's her name, Vanessa, mm-hmm. and he's just like, everything it kind of sounded like a threat. You know what I'm saying?
There's some weird.
Like they were really off. Like the casting department should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, also, I mean, yeah, absolutely, because his dad looked like a black caricature of a black man. It was offensive. either like they didn't do any makeup on him or like he looked crazy black. He looked like menstrual black. It was rough.
Oh damn. Oh damn. The dad looked like fucking. He kind of looked like a accelerated aged real life version of Joe Gardner from Soul.
Christ. Jesus Christ!
Let me tell you how I used to play the piano.
All right, we forgot to talk about one crazy thing in this movie.
Go on.
The Sandals Resort was mentioned so many times in this movie. I was like, these motherfuckers produced this movie, and they did. They sponsored this movie.
Of course they did.
Because I'm like, the parents kept talking about sandals. And I'm like, he's supposedly a millionaire. He's just now sending them to Sandals?
Yo, the mom literally says, I'm sorry I ruined the trip to Sandals Resort. I was like, what? Why? Like, she's dying. But no, not Sandals. We'll never go.
It was, I was like, why is this a 2-hour commercial for Sandals Resort?
I mean, we start off with that. He's watching this TV, and she's just like, Sandals Resorts. I've always wanted to go. She's like, hey, mama, you never been to Sandals? Not yet, but one day we'll get to Sandals Resort.
Yeah. Also,
this podcast has been brought to you by Sandals Resorts.
Yeah, it was so crazy. Also, going back to that church scene real quick, didn't that kind of give you like Dracula vibes when he denounces God and drinks all the blood? I was like, why is this so intense?
Yeah, it's wild.
I wrote down Adrian has some nice boobies. I'm such a child.
Yeah.
Also, I hated with the crew had the old 80 like old school 50s crime music with the horns and shit. I was like, what are they trying to accomplish here? Who was the composer in this shit? They were probably deaf. Because this is not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking wild shit happening.
I gotta try to find the doctor scene when they're explaining what's going on.
Oh my god! Yeah,
this is. I mean, all the performances are so bad. I'm like,
yo, this scene right here. Please, everyone, listen to the parents as they're talking. Well, her entire family,
because Vanessa got in a car accident, which we don't see.
Yeah.
And they say she has head trauma, and to display the head trauma, they just have a bandage wrapped around her head.
Well, I mean, that's movie magic for, I got an ow boo boo on my head.
She's like, she's in a coma.
Listen to what they're saying. Just know, if you are an actor or an actress, don't do this.
Hit by a truck that ran a red light.
How is she?
She's not well, Miles. She's still in surgery.
Oh, gee willikers.
Mr. and Mrs. Leone?
Ja Rule looks like he's about to square up.
Well, here's where we're at, folks. She has internal bleeding, suffered severe head trauma. She's in a coma.
She gonna be all right, Doc? I mean, she gonna live, right?
Only time will tell. We've done all we can for her. We just need to see how her body reacts to the procedures and hope for the best.
Hope? Hope? When you say hope and they say pray. I mean, can we all get on the same page here at least?
Take it easy, son.
Take it easy? You said you did all you can for her, Doc.
Yes, we have.
You sure about that?
Miles, please, calm down.
It's in the Lord's hands now.
It's in the Lord's hands. I'm tired of hearing it's in the Lord's hands. I heard that when my mother died. It's in the Lord's hands. Look, I'm sorry. But somebody else needs to step in and take the wheel here.
Like
it seems
who,
like
nigga?
he is out to lunch.
Look.
That made it seem like he was going to transfer to another hospital or something.
No, it made it seem like he was going to go in there with a suture and just go to work. Like, what's happening? He's just like, back at Nam, I was stationed in Da Nang.
I'm telling you, dude, there's so many insane things about. We can't even keep track of all of them. Like, we didn't even talk about out of nowhere Michael Madsen just disappears, and then Stephen Baldwin now has some random Jason Schwartzman looking nigga.
Yeah,
like I said, he looks like Jason Schwartzman, if Bad Bunny and Jason Schwartzman had a kid together.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
And he was terrible.
He actually kind of looked like Mark Maron's like little brother.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit more obscure. But it was just so weird. And then Stephen Baldwin says, good guys 0, bad guys 3. I was like, what?
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
He might as well have said that. He might as well have said that.
I mean, when John Kreese is interrogating Ja Rule and he pulls up the chair like it's an 80s cop movie, I was like, oh, man.
It's like, this isn't 1983. This isn't Karate Kid. Stop it.
This movie was just trying to be too many things. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was all over dog shit.
The writer, this dude, I know he wrote it in prison. He must have been on some hooch the whole time with a fucking typewriter trying to put this shit together.
He was writing this and fucking with a ladle pulling fucking hooch out of the goddamn fucking out of the toilet bowl. Like, oh yeah, this one's God is gonna love this one.
I feel bad. I feel like the writer's gonna find out about this episode.
If he does, what is he gonna do? I mean, he gave his life to God. He'll forgive us.
Oh yeah, that's right. He will find it in his heart to forgive us.
And if not, oh well.
I don't mind like religious movies. Like it's just that
make them watchable.
Yeah, I mean, between this and The Perfect Gift, there's a reason why we've steered away from the Christian film variety.
Oh gosh. A Perfect Gift. Oh,
I mean,
no.
Dude, we've seen so many crazy movies for this podcast. But I was surprised by how insane this movie was.
Yeah, this is
because
something
when
else.
you added it to the list, I was like, I remember seeing the poster. Like, I know it's got Ja Rule. Like, this is gonna be interesting, right? And then I started watching. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is so far left for what anything I was. Didn't I text you? I was like, this movie's wild.
Oh yeah, dude. I started watching it shortly after you finished texting me. I was just like. I do like wide eyed, just staring at the screen. It was just like, oh, I didn't even text you back. I'm just like, this is something else.
Yeah,
this is something else.
I mean, when she's in the bed and she's in a hospital bed, he like puts his body on her, like hugging her. I'm like, if she has brain damage and was in
internal
accident,
bleeding,
you wouldn't be able. Like they would be like, get the fuck away from her.
Like, hey, you can't lay on top of her, you asshole.
And then she just wakes up and he's like, oh my God.
He's like, everybody, she's up. And then they all come in, even the doctors, and then they just lean on the side of her bed like she's fucking Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh my goodness, she's awake. Say something to us. And she's like, ooh, ain't nobody gonna take my leg.
Yeah, I was really thrown off between the cop shit, the drug life, which never fully got like explained or resolved. And then the hitting you over the head with the religious themes. And I get it's a Christian film, but when Adrian Bailon said that the Bible was more important than life, I was like, geez, Louise. But some people are very, very religious, and I'm fine with that. It's a fucking free country, right? But this is a lot.
This
is a lot. Like Ja Rule, it felt like Ja Rule did all this so he can get her pants because of the way he played it. It wasn't even like, hey, like I'm actually gonna take this as an opportunity to change my life. Like, because he was still a baller, he was still doing the shit with his friends. Like,
well,
besides reading the Bible, and going to church, was he really a changed man?
This is true.
He got baptized at the end after all the shit happened.
Yeah,
and then became a pastor a la Mace.
Yeah. Well, also, she's been trying to. I don't know how long they were supposedly together in this movie, but they were with a look at 3 years later. Okay, it's 3 years later after. Okay, so I don't know how long they've been together, but she's been trying to get him to go to church with her since the beginning, and he only goes like toward like maybe 3/4 of the movie in.
Yep.
So they've been together for at least a year before he finally actually goes to church.
Yeah, the passage of time didn't quite make sense for me. I didn't peep that they had been together for a year at that point.
Yeah.
And then we have the flash forward where they have a daughter together. and he's a pastor.
Yeah. He's like, all right, everybody, we're going to talk about change. Holla, holla.
Yeah, this is wild, man. It had a budget of $3 million. It only made back $2.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Because people knew what time it was.
People should have known better not to even go and give this $2.5 million. This is terrible. They must have only been watching this shit in fucking like Utah.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad, like, because I've been saying, like, even if they recast Ja and Adrian's roles, it still doesn't help because all the other actors are so bad.
Yeah.
Not one person does a good performance in this.
Mm-hmm.
Not one person was on screen and I was like, yep, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe that they thought they were doing something. Because the white cops are in another movie. They're in like an episode of SVU and shit. While niggas are over here in a Tyler Perry Church movie. It's so crazy.
This was a lot to get through, man.
Yeah.
It really was a lot to get through. When I was watching this, I was just like, oh man, if somebody just hit me with a lightning bolt right now, I'd be fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
Take me out.
I love how Wikipedia says reviews from mainstream media were negative, while the response from Christian media was more positive.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, sure, of course it was. Justin, break down our rating system, man.
Guys, we rate movies
Holy
bags
shit.
of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a movie doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it in the dog shit pile. We pile piles and piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So, Brandon, we sat down and we watched I'm in Love with a Church Girl, starring Ja Rule. Was it Adrian Bailon and Stephen Baldwin. What say you, sir? But wait, before you say anything, I think that we would be doing a disservice if we didn't shout out the sponsor for this episode, Sandals Beach Resorts.
That's right. Get yourself a pina colada, a Kool-Aid, and a nice warm blanket on the sunny beach.
Sandals, the only resort you need, especially if you love God. Okay, so what say you, Brandon?
Oh man, this gets like 2.5 million piles of dog shit. This is out of control. I would not wish this on my worst enemy to watch this movie. It was that insane. It was one of those things. It's one of those things where, and I was high, so it was a little like elevated in like the absurdity of the movie, but it's so crazy that like even if you try to like, I think we didn't even do a good job explaining it. How insane it is.
It's just all over the place.
Yeah, because it's so batshit crazy.
You know what?
It's hard to break this down.
This should have been a Zoom movie night. Because I feel like you need more eyes and you need to talk about it immediately after it's done. Because this is like a fever dream.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Justin, what's your rating?
Yeah, this is just getting pure dog shit. This is the genesis of dog shit. Ja Rule is terrible. I mean, he is not good. I mean, but at the same time, that's pretty bad because he's better than some of these people who are supposed actors in this film.
Yes, this is true.
So, like, that's like the guy who plays the father and the mother who kind of looks like a broke down Cecily Strong. I just don't get it, man. This is really bad.
Yep. You know what else is really bad? These user reviews in IMDb for I'm in Love with a Church Girl.
No.
I have to read at least 2 of them.
Oh,
okay,
no.
so they're both 10 out of 10.
Okay, here we go.
So the highest rating you could possibly get on IMDb. So the first one is by Teresa Black. They write, I love the movie I'm in Love with a Church Girl. Pastor Gailey, are you going to make a part 2 of I'm in Love with a Church Girl? I hope you do because the movie was awesome and it made me actually sit down and read my Bible, even though it's hard for me to really understand what's being said. I believe in God and the movie just made me believe him a lot more, so I hope you decide to make another part of this movie with the same people. I really love the movie, so God bless everyone. You were all awesome. Thank you. I don't know who she was writing that to. That seemed like a Facebook status from a mom that's very, very lonely.
Yeah. There's a lot of things wrong with this film.
Yep, I got one more for you. Totally Awesome by S. Holmes 7190. They write, I thought this movie was great. It shows how God can and will use anyone that is willing to serve him. Whoa. Okay. God does not need to do a background check because once you confess your sins and receive Jesus Christ as your Savior, your record is dipped in the blood of the Lamb and it comes out white as snow. How awesome is that? This movie shows that. This movie shows the love and compassion of God through a woman that caught the eye of a drug dealer. It shows that God is no respecter of person. There is no one that God can't reach. God will go to the lowest of the low gutter to bring a person out. This movie was way under advertised. I pray that they get the funding they need to market it because this movie can reach a lot of people. 10 stars.
Boy, you know they're drinking the Kool-Aid, baby. They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
And I'm not talking about that sugary red drink. I'm talking about the, we gonna slap ourselves with a whip in the name of Jesus.
In the name of the Lord. Ah!
I remember was that the Da Vinci Code where that nigga was like beating himself?
Yes.
And I remember being like, Mom, what is this? She's like, yeah, there's some religious sects that like do this.
Monks.
Right? They punish themselves.
Yeah,
and I was
Jesuits and all that.
Yeah.
That's
and then in another one of those Dan Brown books, the bad dude like has castrated himself in like the name of God. It's out of control. Like those, all this stuff is crazy.
Again, cuckoo.
Cuckoo bananas. Justin, how can people follow you, baby?
Stop calling me baby. You thought I forgot. Guys, you can follow me at JBrownDinner on Twitter and Instagram, Brandon.
You can follow me at American Collins, AmericanCollins.com. You can follow the show at Medium P Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Sign up for the Facebook group. Be part of some fun discussions. And all things Medium Popcorn can be found on MediumPopcorn.com. Go over there, check it out. It has a link to our YouTube page, which you should definitely subscribe to, as well as written reviews that Justin and I have put up for other movies that, because there's so many movies out, we don't always get to record an episode on them. So we occasionally post written reviews. So how about that? And Justin, if people want to support the show financially, what can they do to get money in our pockets and good shit in their ears?
You can go over to patreon.com/medium popcorn. We have tons of episodes on there. We have the rant. What am I watching? We have the Zoom party nights. Guys, it's all right there. Our backlog, you looking for something? Go to Patreon. What are you doing, baby? What are you waiting for?
I'm in love with a church girl and bad acting.
But guys, also know that you can take yourselves down to tpublic.com/medium popcorn, grab yourself some swag as well, and leave us a voicemail, 347-508-0978.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Is exactly what they said after they finished filming this shit show.
All right, y'all. Well, we hope you have a blessed day. Clap your hands, stomp your feet. It's a holiday.
I never know what that means. Sandals Resorts. Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins. That's me. And Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.